I bought a lot of different beauty products from YesStyle so that you hopefully don't have to. I'm gonna try every single thing out today and review it for you. As always, I will link all the products I bought this time below if you want to go check them out. Like in my last video, this is going to be very detailed. I'm going to be doing some comparisons, so let's get right into it. This time around, I got a total of 4 blushes, which is less than last time, but last time I was like trying out too many blushes and I was kind of overwhelmed. But if you want to see more blush reviews, just go watch the last video. I've never heard of the brand called Oddtype, and I looked at their packaging and I was like, this is so good. So touchable water blush. Like, I'm hoping that this is gonna give like watercolor vibes. I do like how it has a pump. I bought shade Frye 765. Doing a smell test. You know what this okay, I don't know if I'm the only one like this, but this smells like paint to me. So I really like the smell. It just smells very clean. I don't know. Very thin. Kind of reminds me of the Peri Para consistency. I think this shade is really pretty. I'm really excited. Okay. Let's just test this out and see if it's buildable. Here's what it looks like with a very, very thin layer. I'm gonna use a Momo's Workshop puff. What do we think? This is definitely giving watercolor vibes. Blends in really well. One more pump. Definitely buildable. Okay. Blends in beautifully. Oh my gosh. Kind of reminds me of the Glow Cocktail Oil Blush, except the Glow one is more glowy in my opinion. I feel like you can blend this out with your finger too. I just prefer sponges because I feel like I can be a little bit more precise. I don't know if you could tell, but it does kind of blur the skin. Guys, I'm gonna give this a 5-star rating. I have no complaints. This is really pretty. I would definitely get more shades. Yeah, I think people need to try this one out. This one might be a new favorite. This is the Heart Wearing Liquid Cheek. Now, with 2AN, I tried their cream pocket blush thing. I don't recommend it. It's really bad. But I want to see if this blush is better. I'm hoping that it is. Look how cute this packaging is. Oh my gosh. Also, on the sides of the packaging, it has these tiny little hearts. I think that's so cute. I got the shade called Pansy Glow. The applicator is very, very tiny. I don't love how small the applicator is. It kind of reminds me of the Daisy one that I tried last time. I got a purple shade because I really like purple blushes. The consistency is very thin, which I like, very serum-like. Kind of reminds me of the last one actually. I'm gonna blend it out with my finger first and then I'll go in with a sponge. Ooh, this one just smells like nothing. I feel like it just smells like makeup, not floral, fruity, or any of that. I do really like how it looks with just a super thin layer. I think this looks gorgeous, but to give it a fair review, I'm gonna build it up a little bit more. Because this is a lighter color and it's more muted, it's not going to obviously be this dark, but I do think it's somewhat buildable. Very, very, very pretty. If you want something glassier, I would say get the 2AN one, but if you want something more like this, get the Oddtype one. But I think this is really pretty, and I think it would look even better if I added setting powder around it. But overall, just based on personal preference, I'm gonna give this a 4.5, which isn't a bad rating. That's actually a really good rating for me. It might change in the future. The more that I use it, it might go up, it might go down, but so far, I recommend it. I'm gonna wipe this off, and then we're going to review a couple of more blushes. This next blush is actually more of like a multi-use product, so you can use it as an eyeshadow if you want. At least that's what it looked like on YesStyle. It looked like you can use it as a eyeshadow or something like that. This is from the brand called Red Chamber, called Spirited Leap. So satisfying. See how much product you get in here. Whoa! I feel like that's a decent amount of product, but I really, really like this packaging. Look at that. It does have a fragrance to it. Is it a bad fragrance? No, but like it smells kind of sour, like a sour fruit, like a, oh, what's the word I'm thinking of? Tangy? Something like that. I think this is going to be similar to the 2AN one. Very, very sheer. It is kind of disappearing, but let's build it up more. Let's give it a fair shot. I feel like this is buildable, like the color is building up more. I see it more. Very, very, very dewy. I mean, for my personal preference, I almost think it's a little too dewy, but I think if I add like some setting powder around it, I think I'll like it more. But as a product itself, it didn't lift my base and it blended out pretty nicely. I think this is nice. Like if you want like a super dewy look, Like think a water fairy stepping out of water, and like her skin, like I feel like this is what her skin would look like. I hope you guys see the vision. Like yes, this is supposed to be a dewy product, but I do think that this is leaning more on that oily side. A 4-star rating for now. So I do recommend it if you want something that looks like this, and I'm going to continue to test this out. You might see it in a future video or see me talk about it again. Now this next blush I got is actually a restock. I rave about this blush. It is the best blush of all time out of the over 50 that I've tried. This is the best blush ever, and if you haven't tried this out yet, you are truly missing out. I repurchased the shade called 05 Chroma Mauve. This is the Nuse Mousse Care Cheek. This is my old one that I am running out of. I'm like right here. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, I think, but I have like this much product left. This formula is thicker. Like it's not like your regular liquid blush like the two that I just tried out previously, but it doesn't feel thick on the skin. It blends out beautifully. It's a semi-matte formula. Now Nuse does have two different formulas when it comes to blush. They have a mousse care cheek and a liquid care cheek. If you want a super dewy formula, get the liquid care cheek. If you want something that's going to blur the skin a little bit, you'll really like this one. I really like pale blushes. This formula is very buildable. I've bought a few different shades actually. You're gonna have to wait for it to dry down a bit for it to be that semi-matte formula, but it just blends out so beautifully. It is buildable. I'll build it up more on the outer part. It doesn't lift the base either, which is amazing. You can use a puff as well, and just look at that. So I don't know if you could tell, but it's starting to dry down a bit and blur right here. So I really like this blush because it does leave behind a little bit of a glow, but like not too much. I've seen so many reviews on this cushion foundation. I honestly wasn't sure what shade to get, but I got the shade 21 and light, and it did come with a refill, which is really nice. I am gonna prep my skin first. I'm using the Yunjak Skin Perfecting Protective Base Prep. I got this in my last YesStyle haul, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna let this base dry down a bit. So here is my skin before. I really want to see how this looks over my blemishes. I did recently get like 2 new breakouts. Okay, I don't think I got the correct shade. This looks like super yellow, but I think it might work. This is definitely full coverage though. Oh my gosh. But yeah, as you can see, I'm definitely more like a neutral cool tone. I do really like the coverage. There are some blemishes that aren't like being covered up, but I feel like this is a pretty big difference. It's not super dewy, but it's also not matte, obviously. I would say it's definitely more like skin-like. I say yes, get it, but only if you know your exact shade match. I really want to compare this foundation brush to this little puff. I've seen people use very thin brushes like this, so I just want to see what it's all about. I feel like it's very tiny, and it's not the best quality. I feel like it's very mid, but I feel like I'm comparing it to like this. I think is a good size of a puff. This is from Momo's workshop. I was just talking about this in my last video. Here is the difference. I'm concerned, but we're still gonna try it out. Okay, so for my foundation, I'm going to mix together the NARS Soft Matte and the Glow Breathable Blemish Balm. I will say the brush is very soft, which I like it doesn't feel like bad quality, I guess. I will say it is like, no matter how much you brush, like I feel like it's still going to look a little bit streaky. I don't know, I see a bunch of people raving about brushes or even spatulas, but see, it's just very streaky. It's just like, I can't get it to look even. I would say skip on the brush. I am really trying to make this work, but I feel like this brush is just like not it. I just don't see myself using this when you can use like a beauty puff to speed up the process. Like I feel like this is taking forever and it still looks streaky. The brush is a no. Now let's do the puff. See, already this application looks a lot better. I don't know, maybe I'm using the brush wrong. It's doing the job. Do I think it's the best puff in the world? No. But see, look at the difference in application. So smooth. Like, I feel like you could definitely see a difference. At least I can. Like, this is just very streaky, not super even. I would say for this puff, only get it if you want it because of the packaging. I did also get a couple of hair clips. Now, one thing about me is I hate when hair is in my face, and I try to use hair clips as often as I remember. But I really like this style. Okay, I think it actually looks kind of cute. So a lot of people ask me about this concealer brush that I use almost every single time I do my makeup. It's from Morphe. I don't know if they sell this anymore. Like, I'm 90% sure that they don't. So I wanted to get a concealer brush that is like still available, and I wanted to test it out and see if it was going to be like a good alternative. Very, very soft. Softer compared to my Morphe brush, but then again, this Morphe brush is like really old. I think I've had it since high school. I'm not in high school, but I really like how this looks. Here's what it looks like compared to my Morphe brush. Today I'm gonna be using the Tower 28 concealer. I've been testing this out recently. I'm just gonna apply this over here. Do like a little battle of the brushes. I'm gonna do Morphe on this side and then we'll do the new one on this side. See, I really like the Morphe one because look how fast this blends out concealer. Okay, let's start blending. Thought I would zoom you guys in just so you could see a little bit better. Wait, why do I feel like this side looks better? I feel like both brushes blended out the concealer like pretty quickly, which is great. I think this is a good alternative. They work the same. The only difference is like, I feel like this is a little bit thicker in terms of how it feels. Like this is more light and feathery. This one, I feel like it feels more like a dry beauty sponge. I think I've only ever tried one product from this brand and it wasn't like my most favorite product ever. It was like this like jelly looking orb thing. It was cute, but it was just not the best thing. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this. I think it's pronounced espoir. I think they have 2 different shades available. I got shade 1C Cool Gray. The last time I ordered off of YesStyle, I tried out this cream contour stick from Out of Office, and I do really like it. I've been using it in a couple of my makeup tutorials / get ready with me. So I wanted something that was more for like full face. Let's see how much product you get. I feel like that's a good amount for a cream product. Okay, I'm just going to, ooh, so pretty. I'm just gonna apply this where I typically apply my contour, which is like just in these couple of places, and just see how well this blends in with a brush. I feel like it's blending in pretty easily. Here is the difference between both sides. Definitely cool tone. Also, I think this is just a twist top. I was trying to pull it off. I don't want you to break it. I really like the shade. I'm just gonna layer it up a little bit more. I wanna see if it's buildable. I do love buildable products, but do you see how easily it's blending out? This is a good product. I understand the hype. It didn't pick up my makeup underneath, and I think it looks pretty good. In case you missed my last YesStyle haul, I did review this product already in a different color, and I've been using it a lot lately. In fact, I think I've been using it in my past couple of makeup tutorials, but I wanted something that was more neutral. This is the brown Tote Pot. I believe they have 3 different color options. I think the other one that I don't have is more on the warm tone side. I'm gonna go into this shade. Smile with my eyes. I just really love how creamy this formula is. Okay, I feel like this shade is actually lighter than I thought. Okay, I'm gonna go into the darker brown. So far, it is looking good. I just think that this shade, I wish it was a tad lighter. But do you see how easily this glides on? Super, super creamy, blends out beautifully. If you want to just tap it in with your finger, I'll show you in a second. So you can keep it like this if you want. I don't recommend that. I'm gonna tap it in just a tad. I always recommend setting your concealer in place or any cream product in place with a translucent setting powder. I'm using the one that I bought from Myricks. Okay, and here is the difference. On this side, it's just very like shadowy and not too cute. This is what it looks like with just concealer. I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyeliner real quick with this product. I'm gonna use the super dark brown color. Also, because it's a cream product, it makes cleaning it up a lot easier. I'm gonna take this color and I'm just gonna apply that to my outer corner just to add a little bit more dimension. For over a year, I've been raving about the Roman mascara. I want to try a new one and see what the hype is all about because this one is very much hyped. It is from the brand called Clio. This is O2 Volume Curling. This is the Roman one. This is the Clio one. The Roman one is definitely thicker. These are both supposed to be voluming. Shiseido eyelash curler because I really like the curve on this one because it fits around my eye shape. We will see how well this holds the curls. Some mascaras that I've tried will just make my lashes like disappear by the end of the day. Like it'll just go flat. So that's why I really like the Roman one personally. But I really like the wand because it makes it really easy to separate the lashes. I don't know if you just noticed, but it did kind of like flake off right here. Not the worst thing in the world, but also not the best. So let's do the Roman one on this side. I feel like these formulas are very, very similar. Like I feel like my lashes look the same. The only thing that I noticed with this one is that it flaked off right here. That's okay. I can just cover that up. Maybe this side is a little bit longer. Like maybe the Roman one lengthened a little bit more, but what do you guys think? Do you think they look the same? Because I think they look the same. I did go a little crazy when it came to lippies. There's so many different ones to try out and review. Let's get into it. I saw a lot of people talk about these. These are from Heart%. Now, typically when it comes to me testing out new products, I will only get like one shade just in case I don't like the quality, but I just wanted to try both of the shades. I couldn't decide. And I do really like lip pencils that are more rounded out like this. This is shade Cloudy Mauve. I do have a lot of dryness around my lips just because I have eczema. I'm actually healing the outer corners of my lips currently because it was actually really hard for me to smile a bit ago, and I'm healing, okay? Okay, I'm using this more as a lipstick, but it does mute out the color of my lips. This is pretty. I'm gonna try this shade of Heart% with the Nuse Reju lip gloss. Now, I have reviewed this before. I did buy this last time. I saw that they had more shades and I had to buy a new one. This is the shade called Fig Drizzle. And look, guys. It stands. Now, I really like this formula because it is a hydrating lip gloss, and I think that's because it has PDRN in it. I love the applicator, but you might notice it, but it does come out a little bit bumpy, and that is because of the PDRN in it, I think. All you have to do is rub your lips together. Don't worry, I will also show this on its own. Oh, wait, it smells different compared to the other shades I have. This smells like cocoa powder. I like how the lip liner isn't acting weird with another product on top. I always hate when lip liners like disappear or like rub away when you add other products. Okay, I really like this lip pencil. Let's try this on its own. Again, if you don't like the fact that it comes out bumpy, you're not going to like this. But I personally love it as someone who has eczema and super dry lips because it is very hydrating and I love the finish. This does have a little bit of a bitter taste to it. You're not supposed to taste your lip products, but just in case you do, because it's right next to your mouth, it does taste bitter. But the taste doesn't make me feel sick like some other products that I've tried. I love. If you haven't tried these out, I highly recommend that you do. Okay, the other shade that I got is 17 Taupe Beige. This is what it looks like. I'll also swatch these two side by side. This is very similar to the Romand taupe shade that they have. I really like that lip pencil, but I think this shade is perfect if you want to mute out the natural color of your lips. A little ombre moment. I really like how creamy this formula is. I feel like this formula definitely dries down. Here's a difference between both of the shades. This is from the brand Clio. I haven't seen too many people talk about this. Look, it's so cute. I got the one that comes with like a little thing. 01 Soft Fig. I see why they call this a glazed lip serum. This does remind me of like a glazed donut in a way. I don't smell anything too strong, so I think that's a good thing. I think the finish is so pretty though, like very jelly-like, very donut glaze vibes for sure. It's not sticky at all, which is great. Instant recommendation. This is so gorgeous. I want to get more shades. This is from the brand called Into You. This is their Airy Touch Moist Lip Mud. Oh, I'm so serious, guys. This smells like medicine. Like cherry or grape. It smells so bad. I'm sorry. It's a shame. This is a nice formula. I don't know if you could tell, but it has like sparkles in it and it's a blurring formula. It doesn't feel super dry on my lips. The shade is gorgeous. Don't you just hate when a product is so good, but the scent makes it a no? Look at this packaging. This is my first time trying girlcult makeup. I can't say it fast, but let's get into this. I'm super excited. This is so magical looking. I am mesmerized. Guys, here's what the applicator looks like. Let's go straight in. I don't mean to be dramatic. I don't mean to be dramatic. You guys, I'm not smelling anything weird. Guys, this shade. This is beyond gorgeous. It is so pretty. This is a must. It's a must. You have to get it because I told you to and it's amazing. Oh my gosh. And it's also not that sticky at all. It feels kind of similar to the Clio one. I don't feel the sparkles at all. This is great. Oddtype actually didn't have too many products to choose from, but I wanted to try out another product in addition to the blush, so I picked up their Unseen Mirror Tint. But like seriously guys, their packaging is so pretty. It's so unique. I bought shade 232. It's like a little brush. It's like you're painting or something. something. It's very, very pigmented. It smells really good. I don't know how to describe it, but it smells good. I will say, I do feel like the color is absorbing into my lips. It's not my favorite thing ever when products absorb, because when they absorb, it doesn't really match the color that I bought. You know what I mean? See, like I do have pretty pigmented lips to begin with, but I feel like the color is just absorbing right into my lips. It's very pretty. It's a pretty shade. It's definitely more of that lip tint that's like glossy, like a lip glossy lip tint. I'm assuming it's going to be a very light tint because it's a very light color. Yeah, even on my hand it leaves behind a light tint. With lip tints, the stain kind of depends on the shade that you get, in my opinion. Next, we're trying the Nuse Mousse Lip Jewel. I feel like I've tried a majority of the Nuse makeup products and I've liked most of them, so I like to review lip tints on different days just because I know that some of them do like leave a stain. I just want my reviews to be very accurate. I bought the shade called Mauve Rain. I'm swatching it right here. Let's just glide this on. Okay, I tried not to get any on the top, but let's zoom in a bit. I do have a little bit of like lip balm on the outer edge, but the consistency is actually very similar to the Lily by Red lip tint I recently tried in the last YesStyle video. My problem with the Lily by Red one was that it like kind of like caked up on certain parts. I wouldn't say this is like a super blurring formula, but yeah, the consistency does remind me of the Lily by Red one. It's not really caking up anywhere, and I don't know how I really feel about this one. This might be my first Muse product that I don't like. I don't know about don't like, it's just like, I feel like there's better products out there. I feel like this is just adding a color to my lips. It's not blurring, it's not glossy, but it's not meant to be glossy. Not bad, but also not amazing, you know? So it does leave a little bit of a tint behind, which is nice. I do like when lip tints leave a tint. Okay, I think this is like a maybe. This is the last lip tint that we're trying today. Here is the applicator. I'm gonna swatch this right here. Just based off a swatch alone, I feel like it's thinner compared to the Clio Crystal Glam tint. I do really like that lip tint, by the way. Let's just start very thin. Let's hope that it doesn't like absorb. I don't know if I'm crazy, but it feels kind of cold. I bought the shade called Berry Soda. I think the shade is really cute. I am content. It does smell like something. It doesn't smell like anything bad. I just can't figure out what it is. It smells sweet, so I think that's a good thing. Now let's do a stain reveal. Okay, I feel like the stain isn't like super even. It's very glossy and I really like the pigment with it. I think I recommend. So I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, but I did see that Daisy is no longer selling this on YesStyle. It is their luminous glow stick, my favorite glow stick ever. It is super, super glassy. It doesn't lift the base. Looks beautiful on the skin, lasts all day. It is gorgeous. This is the shade called Milky Way if you can find it from a reseller. I don't know. I wanted to find an alternative. One thing is for sure, the Hints one is not one of them because this one does lift the base. I do not like this product. I do not recommend it. But I found this product and I'm hoping that it's similar to the Daisy one and it doesn't lift the base. Look how fun this packaging is. It does come sealed. I did get a clear shade, so it's not identical to the Daisy one because my Daisy one is more purple. Here's the difference between the two. I'm gonna apply this how I apply the Daisy one. Pick it up with my finger. Oh, anyway, update on the Nuse blush. This is what it looks like after it sits on your skin for a bit. I don't know if I'm ever gonna find something exactly like the Daisy one. If anyone has a glow stick recommendation that doesn't lift the base, please let me know. I cannot find one. This one, like, I don't know if you could tell, but it like lifted my blush right here. I'm going to test this out again, but maybe with like different base products just to see if I could get it to work somewhat. Now that my base is freaking ruined, I got these things. These are like hair volumizing clip things. I don't really know how to... I'm kind of confused. It's like, do I open it? There's like springs or something. Watch me break it. Yeah, oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. No, I was not supposed to do that. Or maybe it is supposed to be like this. Okay, it took me a second. I did figure it out. I knew it had something to do with sliding, but it just wasn't working. I'll leave it on for like 15 minutes. What do we think? I'll set a timer. Okay, here is my hair before. Very flat. I like rarely review hair products. I really want to start reviewing other beauty categories. So, okay, it's been some time. It has been 10 minutes, not 15. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, same thing. Anyway, let's I had to look at myself on my phone because I really can't see anything. Okay, here's the after. It definitely made this part of my hair a little bit wavy because I prefer a side part. I don't really do a middle part because I don't like it, but I'll show you what it looks like with the... This is what it looks like with the semi middle part. You can definitely see like the volume here. I think this works and I think this looks pretty cute. Anyway, that is it for this review slash haul. Let me know what products you would like to see reviewed next. It could be off of YesStyle or all of Jung, but thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye.